and I'm sorry that you're all standing. I'll try and be as quick as I can. I know what it's like to stand to a long speech. A cordja úsla is more lum go bhfuil muid I go lúdar a chéile anseo in áras an tUachtarán agus machnamh umasach ó dhéanamh agan lá Chernobyl na náisiún Aontaithe dahad bliain ó chreagóid ufasach an lé sin in Oibrán Níogicht ochtar sé nuair a phléasc in Oibrahord nucleoch I Chernobyl. May I extend a very, very warm welcome, Céad Míle Fáilte, to Eddie Roach and all her team, to the ambassadors Garasco, Mythen, Conlon and McHugh, and to all our very, very special guests. On the 26th of April 1986, a reactor exploded at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine. In the hours and days that followed, the silence was deafening. Deliberate, calculated, protective of the system rather than the people. Because Chernobyl is not only a story about a reactor, it is a story about what institutions do when they must choose between truth and self-protection. More than 600,000 people, miners, soldiers, engineers, firefighters, often collectively referred to as the liquidators, were sent to manage the catastrophe. Many without being fully informed of the radiation risks they were walking into. They contained the disaster on behalf of all of us, and we are deeply indebted to them. The consequences were devastating, in particular for the populations of the Ukraine, Belarus, as well as parts of Russia, and indeed other areas as well. The disaster saw deaths from radiation exposure and long-lasting impacts on health, food supply, and of course the environment. Around 350,000 people were forced to leave their homes in severely contaminated areas, facing social, economic, and health-related consequences that will continue for centuries. Around 2,600 square kilometres on both sides of the Belarus-Ukraine border remain uninhabitable till today. Significantly, Eddie Roach was not overwhelmed by the scale of that disaster, and may I add, a man-made disaster. She made a choice, not a comfortable or an easy one, but a human one. She established Chernobyl Children International in 1991, and what has followed has been one of the most sustained acts of solidarity in this country's history. 110 million in aid delivered to children, families and communities still living with consequences that they did not choose. 26,500 children given rest and recuperation with host families in Ireland. Neither pandemic nor war has interrupted that work. I want to say to Eddie and to every staff member and volunteer, what you have built matters. It matters to us, and you've done it on our behalf. This country is proud of you, and I am honoured to stand here with you. Is cúis bródúlam seas of gúlin lagoon in Livsha, agus dóthe go bhfuil búla bus olwar tilse ag éidig agus an Irden. You can hear me down at the back. I'm not dropping my voice. No. Ireland's response to Chernobyl has been one of the finest expressions of who we are as a people. From the early 1990s, Irish families opened their homes to children from the affected regions, not because they were directed to, but because they choose to. That spirit, given form and direction by Eddie Roach, has endured because it was never about charity. It was about recognising a common humanity that no border, no ideology, and no disaster, man-made disaster, can extinguish. The annual UN Chernobyl Remembrance Day was established following a proposal by Eddie in her address to the General Assembly in 2016. My predecessors made Óráid an tUachtarán a home for this work, and I am glad and honoured to continue that tradition, though I do so at a moment when the UN itself is under appalling pressure. As the UN calls for peace, as its calls for peace are increasingly met with the further prosecution of war, whether in the Ukraine, Palestine, Iran, Sudan, Lebanon, and so many other places. Notwithstanding these pressures, the UN has played a significant role in both coordinating the humanitarian response and carrying out essential remediation works. This has been conducted in particular through the Chernobyl Recovery and Development Programme under the auspices of the UN Development Programme with Ireland's full support. The approach of the programme has of necessity reflected the needs of local communities and has engaged effectively with the interconnected peoples in the affected zones across international borders. This task, without a doubt, has been made all the more difficult following the illegal full-scale invasion of Ukraine by the Russian Federation in February 2022, including through the territory of Belarus. Russian military forces occupied the site of the Chernobyl power plant. The international collaboration to build the containment structure for reactor number 4, which included significant support from the EU, has also been imperiled by conflict. This is a risk that we cannot accept, and it is just one of the many reasons why we insist that Russia must end its reckless war of aggression in the Ukraine. Ní féidir an dochar a rinne an lár sin a héanú nó a ligean I nearmid go Joe. Tá lorug díomhalach na tubaiste fós le sunrú I síl ní amháin I tsú de gortaíú ag an am ach freisin páistí a rugú sa ceantar agus ceantar mór himpel feadh blianta fada ina dhia. Is stochar é seo atá fáca ó glúan go luan mar éireacht grána. Ach go siúd nach bhfuil éon éilú fáildómh. Is iad sin na daoine neamhconteacha, the innocent people atá díre chun follinge are condemned to suffering. Caithfidh muid fad mar hocaí damhanda, ní amháin seasamh mar ine an tubaiste a tharla 10 bliain ó shin, ach mar cosantóirí chun cinntiú nach darlóí a leithéid go brach a rís. Not alone do we stand in solidarity, but we must stand together to ensure that it will never happen again. It would be convenient and wrong to treat Chernobyl as a historical aberration, a failure specific to a particular political system at a particular moment in time. That interpretation has allowed many to conclude that the lesson or the lessons have been learned, that a better reactor design and stronger regulation have addressed the underlying problems. These conclusions, however, are not reassuring and they are positively dangerous. The problem Chernobyl exposed was not simply technical. The real problem was an assumption that nuclear power can always be operated transparently, accountably, equitably, and when mistakes occur, the truth will be told and people will be protected, and Chernobyl proved otherwise. Across much of Europe today, public support for nuclear power exists, along with deep mistrust of institutions. That is not irrational. It reflects what people learned, often painfully, that in a nuclear emergency, information can be rationed, risk can be distributed unequally, and accountability can prove elusive. These lessons were written in the lives of the people that we commemorate today, and they remind us that nuclear contamination does not respect international borders or the front lines of conflict. Significantly, this anniversary coincides with the review conference of the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons currently taking place in New York. Ireland's contribution to developing and sustaining this treaty over the last half-century has been one of the most important examples of our neutrality in practice, contributing to effective multilateralism and reducing the risk of nuclear disaster. I am grateful that we will be continuing the push for a world free from nuclear weapons this month. Ireland's leadership and principled approach in seeking to eliminate these weapons of mass destruction represent our core values in our pursuit of international peace. In remembering Chernobyl's disaster today, we must also reflect to ensure that it never happens again. To ask honestly whether political systems, any political system, are truly capable of managing a technology that fails catastrophically when accountability breaks down. To ask whether we have adequate protections in place. To ask whether the lessons we claim to have learned from 1986 are reflected in our actions in 2026. And to ask whether these same failures of institutional honesty or dishonesty, of the suppression of dissent, of governments telling people only what serves the powerful, are not also equally at work today. People are being led into wars and often deliberately denied the full truth of what is at stake. Today, we stand in solidarity on the anniversary, the 40th, of this man-made disaster, and we remember those who have died and who have suffered and who continue to suffer. And Mar Ockelscar, and in conclusion, we acknowledge in particular Eddie Roach and everyone in this room who looked at all of that suffering, paralysed for a while, but then they chose action. Chernobyl showed us what happens when institutions fail people. You have spent 40 years showing us what happens when people refuse to fail each other. That is the most important lesson, I think, for me. And I have to say, you have given hope to all of us. Míle buíochas.